Coach, you get off to the nice start and you had the lead at halftime. What kind of changed in the second half?
Yeah, we just didn't execute, BJ. And once again, take full responsibility for it as a team. Defensively, we didn't execute. Offensively, we couldn't sustain drives. And then, we gave up some big plays defensively, lost some of the momentum. We working to find ways to get it back, and we didn't. So I take full responsibility for the whole team. We got to be better in the second half. When you go into half with a lead and we're getting the ball, we got to be better. So we'll learn a lot from it. We'll look at the film. We'll be better in the future for it.
Coach, obviously, I have to get right back to recruiting and all that. You talk about family and just that whole environment, what you've built. When you get back to Boise, obviously, like Idaho has the only in and out there possible. And now NIL deals are kind of going up. So is that something you're going to try to get for, Genty and the O-line next year?
For the whole team and for the coaches, there's no question. It was an 8-hour wait in Boise, Idaho to go to in and out. So we got to find a way just to even, if the NIL deal is just to skip the line, it'd be worth it. So, no, we're gonna keep, and I told the players, my number one goal is to continue to make Boise State a place where players come, they stay, they're developed, they play in the NFL, they have what God has for them after, and they're world changers. And that will not change. That's my number one goal from the second I took this job going forward, and I believe it will be that.
And, George, you have one of the probably best games ever of your career, last game ever on your birthday. What is that feeling, especially being back in L.A.?
I mean, it's a blessing. It's all glory to God. Without him, nothing is possible. But it's, shout out to the O-line, the tight ends, the receivers, every play. They're dominant up front in a run game, and they were able to be consistent like that throughout the game. So, there's definitely a lot more work, and definitely could be better for sure.
Hey, Coach. Kurt Sandoval from KABC. You talked about that second half. How much, I know you haven't looked at film yet, but how much of it was human nature of being up 16-7? How much was it their defense? And secondarily, if you can speak to how Ethan Gabbers came in that situation.
Obviously, holistically, the beautiful part about football is it's not subjective. When we watch the film, it's going to be very clear what happened and what we didn't execute. If it's a call, offense or defense, if it's a missed tackle, missed play. So we'll look at the film and find out why. As a coach, it is my job to make sure that we execute and play well, and we didn't. So it's 100% on me, and I'm excited to look at it and find ways that we can grow going forward. And we got a great group of seniors that this was their last game wearing the blue and orange. So that's what breaks my heart. Obviously, as a competitor, our goal at Boise State is to win the Mountain West Conference Championship and a bowl game. We brought the championship back to Boise, very proud of that, but we didn't finish the end of that goal. And as a coach and looking going forward, how can we make sure we get that done in the future? We also got a young team, and we're going to look at ways to continue to develop our team. We'll be better in the future for it. But in regards to the second half, there's going to be a lot of things when we look at the film to see what we got to do better. Like I said, holistically, to make sure we execute. We don't give up the big plays on defense. We can move the chains on offense. At the end of the day, football is a simple game. We just got to make sure as coaches, we put them in the right spots. Our players will execute and we'll be better in the future.
Joe Reedy, Associated Press. Coach, just how much did you expect Schlee to be the starter, and how much did things change maybe schematically going from Schlee to Garbers? And then, George, just you guys got 3 field goals in the first half and we're up 16-7, but how deflating was it not to be able to convert touchdowns and just settle for field goals?
Yeah, that was our first half. Obviously, with a bowl game and a bowl game that is, we played our championship game 2 weeks ago. There's moving parts on both sides in regards to the roster. We watched the game film we had and who was going to be starting quarterback, who wasn't. We felt good about going to the game if either one was the starter, that we had a plan. And obviously looking at it, we got to do a better job in a lot of different situations, which is on us as a coaching staff, on me. But we had a good plan going into the game on if number 9 or number 4 were playing. But Garbers did a great job when he came in, made some throws, had some key runs, and we got to play better and we got to put him in better spots.
John Wistro with the Idaho Press. Spence, just 3 of those drives that you got in the red zone in the first half that ended in field goals. Just how badly did you want those to turn into touchdowns, and how did that kind of change the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, football, how you execute in the red zone is everything, and not field goals, scoring touchdowns. Defensively, it's all about holding an offense to 3 or nothing. We talk about all the time defensively. As an offense, did a great job moving the ball into the red zone. We got to find ways to capitalize and put that ball in the end zone. We had multiple opportunities to. We just didn't get it done. So, obviously, the difference between 9 points and 21 points is going to be a big part in the game. On the flip side, their offense did a very good job when they got in the red zone, capitalizing on a couple third downs and turning those into touchdowns. So we'll look at it holistically as a staff to make sure we find better ways. So if we do create plays where an offense gets in the red zone, we hold them to 3-0, and then offensively making sure we turn them into touchdowns.
And then Andrew, 336 yards they had in the second half. Just, once Garbers came in, how did that kind of change the game?
He was just making good throws, we have to just do our job every play, and we had a good plan going in. But at the end of the day, we just got to make tackles and just play as a team, and those plays wouldn't go the way they did if we did that. So.
Spencer, obviously, CJ was in a tough spot today, but what did you see from him and just the inability to really get the ball moving down the field in the passing game? How in the second half did that kind of make things tougher on the offense?
Yeah, proud of CJ. I mean, it's a tough situation to step into, and he didn't blink, he didn't hesitate. The downside in the second half was he was in situations where they knew he had to throw the ball. 3rd and 12 is not ideal for any quarterback. I don't care who you are, but especially a true freshman making his first start. So we got to be more efficient on 1st and 2nd down, put him in better spots, and he'll grow from this experience, and he'll be better for it.
Nothing, him aside, do you need to, add to that position in the transfer portal here before next season?
I mean, we're looking across the board, BJ. Like I said, my number one goal is taking care of our players. We got a young team. We got a great team, great kids, great young men that are going to be world changers. We're going to keep them in Boise, Idaho. Then we're going to look at our roster to see, okay, where are positions that we need to find guys that are not here that fit this place, fit what we're about, and we'll look at it holistically that way.
Coach, you guys had many ups and downs this season. What do you think is your favorite part of this journey and also going forward?
Definitely my favorite part of the journey is just with these young men. I mean, they impact my life every day. Andrew, George, just to name two. I mean, they changed my life. And they impact me, seeing them come to work every day, seeing them go through the downs where everybody counted us out. They didn't blink. They linked arms and said, no, let's do this together, found a way to win a championship when it was a 0.01% chance of it happening. That's my favorite moment is these kids impacting me. Like I said, they changed my life. I'm blessed just to be around them. So every moment I'm around them, on and off the field, is the highlight for me.
Appreciate it.
Joe Reedy, Associated Press. George, can you talk about the long touchdown run, but also just the first half, maybe how frustrating it was, field goals instead of touchdowns?
I mean, yeah, in the first half, we kicked a couple of field goals, and we definitely could have executed better on offense, just to score those extra points. I mean, coming out the second half, obviously, we had, back-to-back 3-and-out drives, and, that's not it as an offense. We need to get those going, especially when we have the momentum. And then, in the run game, we just got to keep, as a running back, just keep trusting it. It's going to pop. It's going to be dirty runs all game, but, when you get that advantage in the fourth quarter, and, shout out to O-line again, blocking up front, that crease hit inside, and, I was out of there. I just, tried not to get hawked, try to, get the speed up there for sure. But, yeah.
Jay Tuss, KTVB. George, if you could answer up here, bud. If you could answer this first, and then Andrew, if you could build off of it. I'm just curious. This last month has been one of the wildest months, really, in a program history, probably. What will your takeaway be from it, George? And then, if you wouldn't mind adding to that, Andrew, what your takeaway is.
I mean, just how strong this team is, the perseverance of them. Continue to stay bought in, especially with Coach D. He's the real deal, and he cares truly about us, and everybody loves him. So, shout out Coach D. But I would say, just having guys continue to come in day in and out, and even when things weren't going good for us, just basically embracing the suck, and then taking it one day at a time, and then obviously we made it to championship, and no one can take that away from us, but we will be better, and yeah.
All right, we're going to do last two questions with the gentlemen that already have the mics.
Spence, George probably played his last game as a Bronco today. I mean, what was it like to see him break that 66-yard touchdown run? What does that do for his legacy moving forward?
Well, George's legacy has been imprinted for a long time. It didn't just happen today. And what he does off the field, how he leads, how he trains, how he's one of the humblest young men I've ever been around, and has all the stats to back up to someone who humility is not common. And so seeing him come out on potentially his last day playing here in the blue and orange, him being able to make that run was awesome to see him do, and I've seen him do it so many different times. But his legacy is way more than just that run, way more than even what he does on the football field. His legacy resonates with every single person in that locker room, every single coach in that locker room. Like I said, George Kalani's changed my life, and I tell him that I owe him for the rest of my life because of how he's impacted me. So seeing him break that long run's awesome. I've seen him break a ton of runs in his career, but his legacy resonates way more than just on the football field.
Spencer, kind of a two-parter. I mean, you already touched on it, but just how do you want this team to be remembered? How are you going to remember this team with everything that you guys overcame this year? And with it being such a young roster and so much talent potentially returning, how exciting is the future of this program as well?
No, I'm very excited. I believe that God is up to something big at Boise State, and I believe the best is still to come. And it is a legacy that this group of seniors imprinted. When everybody counted them out, like I said, the 4 and 5 Broncos was going to be an asterisk year. It's going to be a year that everybody looks and frowns upon. This senior class, these brothers that we have, linked arms and said, not happening. So being able to flip the switch, win a championship, I think not only is going to propel us in the future on the field, but that's something that no one can take from him in life. When everybody counts you out, when everybody says you can't do something, when you put your head down, work, do it with a smile on your face, love the people around, success is waiting for you. It doesn't mean you win every football game. It breaks my heart we lost today. I'm going to learn from it. You learn through two ways, pain or wisdom. Today we learn through pain. We're going to learn from it, grow from it going forward, and it's going to help us be better in all facets. But I'm going to remember this team as a team that was counted out and just kept swinging and didn't look for anybody to give them approval, just kept swinging. And when you do that consistently, you are going to find success. We found a championship this year. No one could take that from the senior crew, but their legacy resonates with me and how you're never out of the fight. And I think that is something that even if these seniors never play football again, they can grab onto that in life, and I believe it's going to be a huge propelling force for the rest of our team going forward on and off the football field.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Coach, players. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. God bless you.